Alright guys, so my first idea or thought of repairing the car is that firewall. So it's a bit of a big job. Well, not a big job, it's actually not that serious. I want it to look like it should. So I ordered material, but you know how it goes. When you're on a roll, you're on a roll. You want to go on and you want to start with it. So I've got this material. It's brand new, it's just a bit rusty. But I think it's a bit too thick. Keep in mind, I want to bead roll the indentations that it originally had. I want to bead roll it back in, and we can luckily give it a bit of shape with our bead roller and our English wheel. Well, all homemade, but they do the job. So that's my next thing I want to do. I want to start with that top piece and just try and get that top piece back in. So let's try and get that done. So the original bodywork there is about 1 mil thick, as you guys can see, and I want to see what's the thickness of this sheet I've got here. But I think just to start to do that top piece, I think we'll use this because it's not as big an area as the floor. But let me just quickly measure this, and then we can see what do we have to have here, what do we have to work with. So let's zero that vernier, and it's difficult filming and working. I think this is 1.2. This is 1.2. So yeah, let's make that first piece out of this. Let's see what we can do with that. Alright guys, so we've done this so far, and we bead rolled 2 beads there, and we hammer formed a small section there which we'll finish still. So that will basically turn, come on, into that. So about 60% there now. Still need to do this side, get this whole section in and whatnot, but yeah, let's see what we can organize. But yeah, I'm not too upset how that looks. Doesn't look too shabby. Alrighty then guys, let's get this piece done and on the car. I dropped it. Alright, so we've been busy for an hour or two now, and yeah, it always looks easier than it is, you know, but yeah, I'm quite chuffed how it looks at this stage. So just looking for my bloody marker. What did I do with it? But anyway, so let me go and show you real quick our progress, and I think we all can be quite satisfied with that. Yeah, you know, limited tools and limited equipment, and well, obviously limited knowledge as well. But yeah, let me flip the camera around, and let me show you real quick how it looks so far. So it's plus minus where we are right now, so I don't think that looks too shabby, and it's taking me a minute to do that though. And look at all the stuff I still need to do. Oh, okay, but yeah, it's looking not too bad, and I'm going to cut the rest out, put that in, tag it into place, and yeah, let it rip. Let's see how it looks when we're closer to finished. Alright guys, so I marked out there real quick, and that's plus minus. I think I'm just going to go to there, plus minus, cut out that piece there, down there, and this piece we're gonna chop that part and that part I'll see. But yeah, that's where we are, plus minus. And my patch panel, first one of many. Alright, so how do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. That's what we're trying to achieve here. Just one piece at a time. Let's see what we can do. Alright guys, so I'm going to chop this thing real quick. Hopefully don't make a hash of it. So let's see where we end up real quick. Probably need to put a bigger disc on this thing. Then do what I do. So
So yeah guys, we are cutting that firewall even more, and it pains me a bit to do it, but yeah, we need to get it square somewhat. So yeah, we're trying to get it as snug as we can, and having it look as factory as we can. Obviously it won't be, and as you guys can see, the big boss has arrived, and seeing what we are doing, and hopefully we are doing a good job. And so we're cutting and fitting and trying to get it as sweet as we can to make it fit like a glove. So yeah, it's a bit tedious at this stage, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
alright. So continuing on the Paddy Driver Duckhams car, as you guys can see, it's deserted here by the shop, and it's over the weekend, and I've decided to put in some extra time on. So yeah guys, so let's get into it for today. As you guys saw, I did that small patch in the firewall there the other day, and for today I built us a nice trolley for putting the car on stilts. I'm going to strip the suspension out so I can set it away for powder coat and sandblasting and electroplating and all that, so we can refurbish the suspension stuff. And obviously when the wheels are off the car, the suspension is stripped out, we'll need to push the car around. So I built as a small trolley so we can push it around and do the floors and some body work in the meantime. So my aim for this car before the date is just to have it all the fab work done and some small stuff here and there, but let's see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. This is a massive privilege and honor, so thank you guys for coming along for the ride. I truly do appreciate it. So without me rambling on for another 2 minutes, let's get to working. Go Max! Now we can get to work. So if you're wondering why we're going to work outside, well, I've got a couple of good reasons for that. First of all, the shop is crammed inside. All the lifts are full of cars that can't be moved at the moment. And it's a gorgeous day outside. It's been a rough winter, and the birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and I'm working on a beautiful RX-7, man. So there's plenty of good reasons to work outside. Although the sun is going to be down on me in a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to get irritated by it. But at this time, we have to strip it outside. So without jibbery jabbering, like Oki and the US always used to say, or always says, I'm going to pick this thing up, get it on jack stands or trestles or whatever you'd like to call them, and yeah, yeah, let's strip this thing. And first of all, I like to show you the wheels once they're off. Stellar stuff, mate. So let's get to it. Alright, so I have got the windy gun here, and I'm going to pop off these wheels, and I'm going to show you real quick what absolute monsters these things are. Alright guys, as you can see, set of absolute monsters here. Man, that's my hand. And probably don't have the biggest hands in the world, but pretty sure they're quite, no, they're not small. So yeah, that's the front. That's the front. Yeah, here we have the back. Man, oh man, we have some serious rubber here, and these are BBS wheels, BMW Motorsport wheels, nevertheless, in full magnesium. These things weigh nothing. They weigh nothing, I'm telling you. You can carry all four of these wheels with no effort. So yeah, pretty awesome. So we're gonna have to refurb these guys. A lot of surface rust. Well, aluminium oxidizes, so it's not rust. Well, it is rust, so whatever. And I'm gonna fix these things up. But yeah, let's get to the suspension part here. Excuse me. Set of AP lockhead calipers, long discontinued. Well, the lockhead part at least. And look at that bloody shaft, man. That's a thick thing. That's a thick thing. And pretty nicely done setup. This wasn't done by your Uncle Pity. So yeah, I'm gonna take this off now. I'm gonna get the strut out. I'm gonna see what we can do with it, if we can save it, if we can refurbish it, and let's get it out so we can see what we've got to work with here. Right guys, so I'm gonna take out this side strut. That side's already out. I did that one before this one because I don't know. But anyway, let me get to it. I'm gonna drop this one out like I'm gonna drop it like a bad habit. And yeah, let's get to that side. I'm gonna try and save every bolt as far as I can, just for the purpose of saving them. Yeah, they were used by Paddy back then, so just like to keep them. I'll do new hardware on the car, but those bolts I'll clean up and just keep in a safe place that goes with the car. Something stupid, but yeah. We're stupid that way, so it's alright. So usually most cars are 19 bolts, 19mm bolts, or the heads at least are 19 bolts. So what's that? M12, yeah, M12. Yeah, most of the hardware here is M10, so they didn't need big bolts back then. They had big bolts. So yeah. Top tip. Here's a top tip for you. If you're working on an old car and it's been standing for some time, just check for spideys, eh? You don't want to put your head in here and the next moment you're lying in hospital and this or that, you know. So that's a top tip. That's a top tip for you. So just make sure there's no spideys and you're not disturbing them. Trust me, they'll disturb you. So Here's some old rubber from back in the day. Still, that's always nice to find. Old Goodyear or Avon. Back then we didn't have Hoosiers in South Africa. It was Dunlops, Goodyears, Bridgestones and Avons. I like Avon, but they're so bloody expensive. Alright, let's get to it. Alrighty. Ow! That was ouchie. Alright guys, so I heard something back there. Being in South Africa, you can never be too careful. But nevertheless, we stripped this thing now. We're going to take the strut out. At the moment, it's all loosened. It's loosened down there and it's loosened up top. Bit of a botch here, but I won't touch it. This is how the car came. This is how it raced back then. So that's how it's going to stay. So like I said, yeah, you can never be too careful. I heard something, I just went and had a look. I know the neighbor up top does have a lot of issues with break-ins and stuff, so while I'm here, and yeah, we can just be safe, that's all. So let me continue here, and let me get that strut out and I'll show you how it looks. Alrighty. So, where is it sticking? Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, one ancient strut out. All right. This is pretty well done. This is to fix the geometry of the lower control arm so it doesn't come up too high. So it gives you a lot of bump steer if it comes up too high. So no doubt this will have bump steer, but this tries and mends it a bit. So pretty nicely made, I must say. Nicely machined. And pretty cool. Alright, so now what's left to do is get the cross member out, get these the control arm, pennant rod, well, not the pennant rod, the pump strut, get that out. And also the sway bar. Let's get that out, and front suspension stripped. All right. Yeah. And also the steering box. So, but yeah, it doesn't look too rusty or anything like that. In here, it does look good. Rust is always an headache to sort out. Always takes lots of time, and just we're lucky it doesn't have too much rust. Alright, so that's that for the front suspension. I need to take the steering box out, but that won't be an issue for us. We can take that out once we've got it on the trolley. So here's one strut, and here's our steering stuff and our cross member and sway bars and pump struts. And here's another strut. So that's all stripped out, and we need to send this away for sandblasting, and then we're gonna decide what's gonna get powder coated and what's gonna get painted and what's gonna get electroplated or yellow passivated or whatever you like to call it. So I don't think back in the day they really had too many options. I just think they painted it. If it wasn't new, they just painted it. So, but we're gonna try and do it nice. So, yeah, front suspension out. Now we're moving on to the rear. So, need to get this rear out. See a small spot of rust over there. Well, that will sort out. And you know what's cool about this car? You can still see the Duckhams colors. When it had other spares, you know, before it had this kit, it had a different kit on it in its early days, and then I think in '87 it changed to this kit. So I must say the car's pretty clean underneath. Small ding here, and still see the Duckhams colors coming through there. But yeah, I must say it's pretty neat underneath. Not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, let me start removing some space. So first of all, I'm gonna get this disconnected from the chassis. Then I'm gonna get the shock up there disconnected from the chassis, and then we're gonna get these ladder bars or suspension links or whatever you like to call them disconnected. The Mazda RX-7 came from the factory Watts linked, and as you can see, this is rose jointed, so it's fully adjustable. Pretty cool. And you can see the mods they did was pretty cool. So let's get this puppy out. And chassis is quite straight underneath, I must say. If you think this car was probably it spent its whole life being a race car, doesn't look too shabby. Alright guys, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Small piece of rust over here that we'll sort out. But I just spotted something pretty cool. At some stage they used to fill her up back there. So I reckon this car still had its original fuel tank in it when it raced. See there? I reckon this thing had its original fuel tank. And you can see outside here where they've finished it off later on. So that's pretty cool. If we clean up in there, we'll see the yellow and blue and white of the Duckhams colors. So pretty neat, eh? Okay, let me strip this rear suspension out. Right guys, so I only have this one arm left, and I need to loosen this brake line here and get these shocks loose. Then we can pull out the diff, and thus we have stripped the suspension out of the Paddy Driver Mazda RX-7 race car. So I'm gonna do that real quick, well hopefully real quick, and pull it out, See, they modified the chassis quite extensively up here and here to give it enough travel, and pretty sure this is going to be a well-handling car, hopefully, when we're done. So let me get this axle out, and yeah, I'll show you once we're done. Alright guys, so there we have it. We stripped this car down to bare bones. Small things I still need to get out, the steering box and the steering shaft. But yeah, that's about the gist of it. And next is body work and finishing this floor pan and firewall. I don't know why they cut it. You know, it's unreal, mate. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to process the thoughts of it, but nevertheless, it is how it is, and we need to fix it, and we're gonna try and do a good job. It's gonna be tricky. I haven't done something like that the way I want to do it. I haven't done it that way. Usually on the national hot rods or something else, you just do a flat plate, a nice curve into it, and this and that. Here we're going to bead roll, and we're going to try and make it as factory as we can, just because of the car's history. So there we have it, all the suspension stuff stripped out, and our next video will be thick or fast, as we don't have a lot of time to finish this car. We need to get this thing rolling real quick, and obviously we're going to do a video where we're going to refurb those BBS wheels to mint status. And yeah, so thank you guys for your time and your effort, and for watching our video. We'll get to it the next time. When you see these parts again, they'll be nice and shiny and brand new, so be on the lookout for that when we put them back in. Thanks guys.